Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. I don't know why I'm saying it in slow motion, but I am. This is Priscilla. Welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to the last day of the Shabby Creep Challenge. You guys, how fun has this been? This has been really fun for me. Hope it was really fun for you. I had a great time, and I really love seeing what everybody has been making. And you guys, this last day, I'm a little bit sentimental, but I'm also really excited to show you what I made, and then how I made it. My prompt today was keys to the creep, so I think you guys are gonna like it. I came up with some fun things. You just got here from April's channel, so if you missed yesterday's video, that was over on Pink Oddbird, and which I will link down below. And then, just to preface this, since this is the last day of the challenge, it is the 31st, I will be drawing a winner tomorrow, which will be Monday, the 1st of April. I'm gonna pick a winner on April Fools. I promise it's not a joke. So you have until noon tomorrow to post your things and tag me on your last day so I can make sure that you get entered into the drawing, which I will do in the evening, and announce the winner of the Shabby Creep Challenge. That's business. That's all the business I have. Let's see what I made. Ooh, look at this. This isn't spooky. The eyeball moves around. Really moves around. This one was definitely raring to go. I made a little cover piece for the journal that I'm eventually going to make with all of my Shabby Creep stuff. And it's got the little keys on it. And I learned a lot while making this, and I love this. It's a little bit padded, it's a little bit fun. It's also like spooky, ooky, creepy, and I'm going to show you how I made it. So, stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back. Or welcome continuously, because you didn't go anywhere. I went somewhere, and now I'm back. And we're gonna start out with a silicone mold that I usually use for resin, but I am gonna use it for air dry clay because I have that on hand, and I don't want to wait for resin to cure. Fool I am. I should have waited for the resin to cure, but it's okay. I managed to make it work. It fits the aesthetic. It came out great. I'm happy with it. So, moving on, what you gotta do is, well, you don't have to, but it's a lot easier, especially with super detailed molds like this, is dust your mold with some cornstarch. That's only for using clay. Otherwise, it'll ruin your resin. But wash this after you're done, too. But I'm using some cornstarch to make sure that the resin releases the molds, and originally I was like, I only need 2 keys, but maybe I'll make a 3rd one just in case, and I'm glad I did, because one of them broke. So I would have been really sad if I only had 2 and one of them broke, because, yeah, you'll see. So at any rate, I'm going to make these molds, make sure that my keys come out kind of straight looking, and then I'm going to trim away the excess clay while it's still, wet. I don't know why that was hard to think of. So that I get a nice shape here. And I'm not super worried about anything because it's air dry clay. You can sand away any imperfections later, but also I don't care if there's imperfections because I want this to be shabby and creepy, and the more imperfect the better, as we will see. Because I chose to use air dry clay. And not to say that that's a bad thing. Air dry clay is just fine. The problem was that these molds are not very deep, so they're very, very thin. These keys are very, very thin. You see, as you can see, one is in pieces, and the rest will be in pieces later on. Don't worry, because I already broke the little end off one of the keys, but I was like, I'll make it work. Weird cut, but okay. I don't know what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to patina these keys. So this is the patina tutorial that I promised somebody in the way long ago, and I don't remember. But I remembered that somebody asked me to do a patina tutorial, so we're doing it right now. We're going to patina the heck out of these keys. So we're starting out with a black base. You're going to paint everything black. And I love patina effect, really, so I'm surprised that I have not, like, utilized this on my channel. As you can see, I broke another one. It's okay, because this is Shabby Creep, so it's alright if the keys to the creep are a little bit banged up. And don't worry, they continue to get more banged up. The keyhole does not get banged up, and I'm going to use that too, but not in this video. That's going to come later when I put all this together on the final product. I don't know about the little heart-shaped lock dude there. That was just like, oh, I might as well since I'm sitting here. But I did it all together because, you know, just in case I might want to use it. But like I was saying, the problem with these is that the mold itself is not very deep, so they all snapped, and that's okay. I'm not upset about it. A little slightly frustrated, but not upset about it. And to continue our patina tutorial process, this is all over the place. What I'm going to do is take some of this patina color that's super teal. It's like a light teal. And water it down. I want it to be watery because I want it to sink into recesses, but not like cover up all the black. Like I want the blackness of the base to still be there. But I want it to sort of be there. I think I probably could have gone waterier with this, but I'm still happy with the final outcome. So it worked out just fine. I think if I was doing a more 3D like standing model where it would have dripped, I could have gone waterier, but for this, something flat like this, it doesn't have to be super, super watery. And what we're going to start out with is 3 different colors of metallics. One is going to be like a dark brown, one's going to be like a medium or coppery sort of color, and then the other one's going to be your brightest metallic color. And that's going to be, the color I have is brass. It leans a little bit more towards gold than brass, but it works all together. So I have like an espresso brown, a copper, and then a brass. And you're going to start with your darkest color first and dry brush that on, and then just keep in mind that you're going to add 2 more colors on top of this, so you don't need to cover everything everywhere all at once. Because you're going to continue to layer on there, but the important thing is that your brush is dry, so that you're only getting the details on the surfaces. You can always go back, like I end up doing here, and adding a heavier color, like coat of color on certain places where you want, and you can break your other key that you thought was going to make it to the end, but it didn't. So they're all broken. It's my fault. I should have sort of predicted this, but it's okay. I digress. I make it work, and that's the only thing that matters. Then you're going to go in with your copper color, do the same thing, and then I think I'm already at the brass color by this point. And you're going to do the same thing, and then, you know, make sure you check your edges and stuff like that if you're doing something 3D. This would be a really cute idea for tags and stuff too, but maybe a different day we'll do like a tag that's patinaed. And then I'm going to go back over these just in the places I want more of the metal and less of the patina, and just sort of dab that out. Because I don't want the patina to be the full front of that image. And then we're going to put those aside and come and cut this bit of leftover like chipboard from a scrapbook package. Okay, I thought my cat was going to do something weird, but he didn't. And I'm just cutting out like a 5x5 square, at which point I get very frustrated because for some reason I cannot cut a straight line when I use the ruler to help me. Which is why I marked them out in the first place, because I kind of had a feeling. But it's just like one of those weird struggles that I have where I can't make like a nice square or a straight edge with the ruler. The ruler is an obstacle. But then I'm going to add just a little bit of this padding. It's a really thin like cotton batting to it because I want it to be a little bit plushy, but I don't want it to be like super plushy so that it's like a detriment, because this, what we're making, I should say, what we're making is a cover piece for the book that I'm eventually going to make. And I decided it was going to be a larger book, so I'm making a larger piece. You would size down if you were making a smaller piece. But this is just one of the cool things. I want to have this sort of pillowy cover piece that isn't super pillowy, so it doesn't impede in writing, but isn't like flat like paper. So I'm just going to add this on here and then, like, you know, tuck this in nicely. And this is a little bit of like a coffee dyed pillowcase scrap that I have that I believe April sent me, so thank you, April, for that. And so yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up nicely, get it nice and tucked in there, and then I'm going to just tuck in those loose ends because they irritate me. That's not actually essential. It's going to get stuck to the book cover, so it doesn't matter, but it bothered me, so I did it here. And then I'm just going to go around and ink this up, and then I'm going to decide that the inking is not grungy enough, and I'm going to come back and make it grungier. So I go through with a layer of Distress ink, and then go back with Distress Oxide to get like a softer color. And then I'm going to add, this is the Gather Twigs, and I'm just going to sort of give it a splotchy pattern, and then add it on there like it's a gross stain, kind of like our wallpaper. And then because I have a bunch of Distress ink on here in Oxide, if I add water to that, it's going to get more of a mottled, splotchy effect. And then this is some of the Black Soot Distress Spray Inker that I'm going to add some water to get more of a watery, splotchy, stainy effect, and then use that to go back and darken up the edges that sort of lightened up when we added the water to it. And then I decided, wouldn't it be great if we added in more of this like creepy, gross, sort of decayed looking like black mold taking over. Since I had a bunch of ink on the table anyways, I didn't want to waste it. So that's what we're doing. So this was like a really big callback to the wallpaper, but it ended up working, and I love it. And then I have this like really great crochet doily, which is going to definitely tie in our shabby chic, shabby creepiness to it. And I also pulled out some laces to back it so that it's even shabbier and creepier. And I love this. And I know it looks like we just covered up a bunch of the work, but trust me, everything mattered. Everything counted. It all worked out together. That effect is still there and present, so it comes out great. And so I'm going to start out by adding the shorter piece of lace first, and then go back and add the longer piece. But then I decided that that band was in the way after I put all the glue down. And do you think I cut all of that off in one go and just sort of saved myself the step? No, I did it every single time I went around there instead of just cutting it all off in one fell swoop, to make it fun. Because nothing is more fun than a slightly complicated, convoluted process, right? So, you know, if you're me, just cut it all before you start gluing everything down. It's okay if the glue dries, you can always add more. I felt like I couldn't wait, so this is the process we're doing. And what I'm going to do is when I get to the corners is just turn them a little bit. You'll see that more towards the end when I get all 4 pieces on, just to sort of cover up some of the gaps there. I don't get all of it because I cut it into a square, so some of those corners are still going to show, but it's okay. It doesn't matter because it's supposed to be shabby and not like perfect looking. So it's creepier because imperfections to a perfectionist are the scariest thing of all. So that's what we did here. Channeled that a little bit, and I think you can see it. Yeah, so here's where I start going, and I cut a little bit long on those pieces so that I could get to the corners and sort of smoosh the boundaries between the 2 edges so it's not a harsh straight line and sort of a gathering of fabrics. I got all the glue on my fingers, you guys will be proud, and I didn't get grossed out until I stopped recording. But here we are. So then I'm going to go back and add the longer piece of lace around. And because this lace is so thin, I'm actually just going to ruffle it up where I want it to turn so that it has like a rounded out quality. This other lace, this like tatted sort of lace, is not flexible by any means. So there was no point in trying to like ruffle it around the edges without adding a lot of bulk. But this one is super thin, so I can do that without having to worry. So that's the order of operations I guess I would give you for this if you're going to make something similar, is to start with your heaviest piece and then work into the longer, thinner pieces so that you can get a nice corner around here. And I love how like grungy this lace is, but also how pretty it makes this. Like, it took it from being like a moldy pillow into a fancy moldy pillow, and that's exactly what we're going for. That's the vibe. And then I decided to pull in one of the eyes from the lace stay because they make a perfect focal point. And I also just love that this eye was like the most posable, so it can look all over the place as it's on the cover. And then I'm just going to glue down with some E6000 the keys, and I'm trying to push them together. That crack is still going to be there because I painted in between it. I'm not super worried about it. I'm just trying to not break anything else more because these are very fragile. I may make this cover piece removable, like magnetic, just because of how fragile they are, but also I think that eyeball would be like a pain to try to write over for whoever gets the book. So yeah, I think we're going to make it magnetic, but I haven't decided yet. To do that though, I would just add the magnets to the back of this and then add a piece of paper over the top. And yeah, that's it, you guys. That is the end of the Shabby Creep Challenge. Tomorrow I will pick a winner, or April 1st, depending on when you're watching this, of 2024. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Check out the Shabby Creep 24 hashtag and see everything that everybody made for the entire month. And then, check out the playlist if you missed some videos and catch up on everything. But until then, you guys, happy creeping. I appreciate your faces. Bye.